Hey guys, so a while back, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was doing some calculations with Garen, like how much damage he deals with his ultimate and stuff like that, and I don't know, I just had the crazy, not crazy, but curious idea of seeing how much damage I deal with 180 because I just found that to be rather interesting. I love experimenting things, I love testing, and I just went on to a practice tool and I just put myself with 100 specifically 180, only 100. And I found out something very interesting, which I want to show you right here. So, make a wild guess here. I have 100 attack damage, okay? That will amass to my character deal 100 specifically, 100 damage to this dummy here. Why? Because it has absolutely no armor, therefore it cannot mitigate physical damage. Okay, perfect. So let's go, let's do that. So take a look at here at the top left corner, look at the HP of the dummy. And see something interesting now, actually. Can you see that? Oh yeah, right, it's not losing 100 HP actually. What is going on here? Okay, alright, very interesting. Now, what is actually going on here? What do I think that is going on? Because this is just a wild guess. And by the way, before I see anything else, let me just say that I am not accusing anyone of anything, of any sort of anything, whatever, okay? This is my observation only and my opinion. Could be wrong, could be right, doesn't matter, okay? So, let's proceed. From what I know, if I have 180, I must be dealing 100 damage to this dummy because of what I just said, no armor. But that's not what's happening. At some point, I think it's at the 6th auto attack, basic attack, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it starts dealing 1 extra damage. Now, why? Why exactly is that happening? I have a clue. I could be wrong here, but I have a clue. And I want to show you something regarding that. I was also doing some testings with Annie because I was playing Annie at the time, and I just thought it would be kind of a good idea to go to practice tool and experiment some things. So I was looking at her stats, and out of curiosity, I was like, oh, I have 1.1 HP regen at level 1. Okay, that's cool. And apparently this, by the way, this is per 5 seconds, and here it's per 1 second. So it's 1 HP per second. You regenerate 1 HP per second. And you regenerate supposedly 6 per 5 seconds. Okay, seems fine. Out of curiosity, I decided to make the calculations actually. I don't really remember why, I just wanted to do it. And here's what I found. Actually, first, Annie's HP regen at level 1 apparently is 5.5. And I'm gonna confirm that with this. Because if you do 6 divided by 5, which is the seconds, so 6 HP regen per 5 seconds equals to 1.2 per second, 1.2 HP per second. However, that's not what we see here. What we see here is 1.1, and I found that strange, because, wait a minute, if it's 6, it should be this, but it's not. Okay, so I went to do the calculations, and 5.5 divided by 5 is 1.1, which is exactly what displays on the wiki. Now, this could be at level 1, I don't know, so I go to level 3, which is different. It should be different by now, it's 1.3. It should have changed to something, but it still shows 6. I found that curious, so I calculate again. I go on the wiki, and the wiki says 6.31, okay? So we calculate 6 divided by 5 is still 1.2, but 6.31 divided by 5 it's 1.262, which is, by the way, rounded to 1.3. If you don't know how rounding works, basically these numbers you see here, if it's 5 or above, the number on the left, for example the 2, goes up. So how do I explain this in a better way? If this was not a 6, if it was a 4, it will be like this wouldn't be 1.3, it will remain 1.2. Since it's 5, or in this case above, it goes 1 up as well, so it goes 1.3, which is what we see. But technically it's 1.262, which is what we see in game. And by the way, rounding means like if it's below 5, if it's like from 0 to 4, it remains the same. But if it's to 5, it rounds to the upper number, so to speak. That's a very rough way of explaining rounding numbers, but whatever. So, what is going on here, actually? This is kind of weird and confusing in my opinion, because it's basically saying, the game is telling you, hey, you have this damage, but not really. So what I think is going on here, and as a developer, I'm not really a developer, but I'm gonna say that I am, because, I've been developing some things over the years. We use floats in programming. Floats are numbers that have decimal numbers. They are usually pretty long, by the way. We tend to use floats for very long things and for precise things that are, they need to be precise. They cannot really have. They could have. I'm just gonna say they could not have a margin for error, but they can have a margin for error. But use it for pretty big things. Anyways, I'm seeing a lot of uhs. Sorry about that. It's a bad habit of me. I want to show another champion, because you could be saying, hey, maybe that's just Garen. Oh, no, it's not. I'm going to show you another champion, which is Lux. I tested this a while ago just to see that maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just a champion-specific thing. It's not. And I'm going to show you something even more bizarre, in my opinion. Oh boy, this game is just weird. I want to say my conclusion at the end of this. I'm going to show you this first, because I think it's important. So I'm gonna buy exactly the same thing. I'm gonna buy a few long swords just to get 180. There we go. So, okay, let's play this game again, shall we? Make a wild guess. How much damage am I going to deal to this character? To this dummy, sorry. I have... Okay, announcer, thank you. I have 180, so I have to deal... I lost myself. I have to deal 100 damage. And by the way, I'm just looking at this base plus bonus. Does, what is that calculation? Exactly. Wait a minute. That's wrong. Yeah. Anyways, what we see here is already wrong. But yeah, you can probably see that we're not going to deal 100 damage. We're dealing 99. Yay! Now, why is that happening exactly? I mean, so... I don't really want to say it, but I have to say it. What's happening here, in my opinion, from my perspective, from my observations, is that the system in place for calculating damage and whatever takes into account decimal numbers. Decimal numbers that, by the way, are completely invisible to the player. So we are basically, the game, sorry, not we. The game is basically lying to thousands upon millions and millions of players, saying that you have X damage, but you don't really have that damage. And this makes me wonder, are there, or could there be, like, some spells that have, supposedly should have X damage, but they don't? Should, other characters have something like this going on? Because maybe this is just a Garen and the looks problem. I don't know. Do you want to make the test of 173 or 74 champions? Go ahead and do it. I'm not doing it right now. I might do it in the future. Not right now. At least I don't really want to do it right now. But hey, these are just my observations. And I think this is wrong. This should not be happening in any way or form. If a player sees that they have X damage, they should deal that X damage. The system can't take into consideration decimal numbers, decimal values. That's just incorrect, completely incorrect, because you're basically lying to the players. In my opinion, in a competitive environment, in a competitive video game, where every single detail matters, I think this is relevant. And maybe it's not. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe, look, I'm obviously not crazy, but look, wow, just wow. And I found this out completely by mistake. I wasn't even trying to find this, and I found it. Like, why? Like, why is this happening? Why does the game take decimals into consideration if they shouldn't even exist in the first place, if the players don't see it? But anyways, I rest my case here, okay, guys? I don't know. I guess it is what it is. I don't know what to say about this at all. I'm gonna leave it as it is. You do your own observations if you agree with this or not. I don't know, but I don't know. I would recommend for this to change, like today. Next patch, change this. This should not be happening. This should not be happening. Imagine if you have a spell that deals 1 less damage. Maybe if you use it once per year, it doesn't matter. But if you do it many times per game, if you do like 100 times, you're losing 100 damage. If you do it on 10 games, you're losing 1,000 damage. You're losing a lot of damage that you could still have. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This should not be happening in the first place. In a competitive video game? Really? Come on. No, not like this. Come on, guys. Come on. We can do better. Alright, anyways, I'll leave it as that. And see you in the next one. Bye.